This tape was, even for a demo, it was fantastic.
I was sold on the band on the first listen.
I think that they're going to surprise a lot of people.
Everybody that heard it knew that this was going to be, great.
I think they're going to have immediate success as soon as people know who this band is.
The band is Default.
Default.
His name was Dallas, and he was just one of those guys that always came over to watch them, rehearse, and he would just sort of sit on the couch. And one day somebody said, "Hey, why don't you try singing?"
Dallas came and tried out, and he was a friend of ours from high school. We totally never knew he could sing, and then he just came along and laid some crazy down on tape, and it was awesome.
Out of this very unassuming character comes this huge voice.
Jeremy and Danny, the guitar player and the drummer, were in a band of their own, and I used to go to all their shows, and they just decided to part ways with their singer. So, seeing that I've always wanted to do this, I figured this is, going to be the last, the only, if not, the last chance I'll have to ever try it out. And so, I just forced myself to go try it. It was really hard. I was very, very shy then, still now, but not so much as I was then. But I don't have it in me. I just have to get over my inhibitions and hop over these hurdles.
And then Dallas surprised the living crap out of us, and there he was. And that's the first stage of Default.
Our lawyer actually sent our package to TVT Records, addressed to Len B. Johnson.
It had been mislabeled and put in a stack of demos, and that sat next to my desk for quite some time.
It was put in a big pile in the corner of the room.
It's like the big bundle of crap, whatever, that people always say, and it just gets thrown and tossed away.
Basically forgotten about.
It's about as high as the wall. It's about as high as the door itself.
One day, Josh, he's Lenny's assistant.
He opened up the door and it knocked over the pile of CDs.
And one day it fell over.
When I opened the door, it fell off the top.
And all these CDs fly all over the ground.
And ours fell on top of them all,
We were like the third one in he got to.
Ours was one of the first ones he listened to.
He got through two of them and found our disc and said, "We got to go see these guys."
The songs, the music, you could tell that they really had their stuff together.
So Josh and Lenny come back from Vancouver with a tape of a new band that no one's really heard much about. It's early days on their live show, but the songs are phenomenal, and the talent of this band is all over the tape. So we decide to go after it full tilt.
I am the newest member of Default. I saw them play, and I was blown away. And a couple months after that, they were looking for a bass player.
Dave is all energy. He's all motion.
We've missed a couple flights because our bass player just disappears. He looks at something pretty and just walks off.
I really wasn't even paying attention.
Okay, don't worry. I'm with you all the way. Okay, I like to thank you very much.
Something's pretty.
I was looking at the logo on my
Yeah, no kidding. So much stuff depends on who you are and who you know and who likes you.
Danny's the drummer. He's the strong point that keeps everyone together.
He's the most mature, definitely. Got a heads up on the business aspect of things.
It's got to be 3 hards in the beginning, 2 softs, and 3 hards and 1 soft. That's what I think flows better.
In this period of their lives, they're going to start getting really good at hurry up and wait.
Since we first signed the deal, it's been pretty slow because I guess there's a lot of preparation at the label that has to happen.
We weren't playing a lot of shows because you don't want to burn yourself out in your town. They don't want to send you out touring because you're just going to end up losing money.
They want to get on the road. They want to go tour.
Very, very anxious to just get it on radio and see what it does and just go on tour. And yeah, just go where the roller coaster takes us.
You're so new. You just feel like naked.
You hear the styles of guitar that Jeremy has, that's his style. That's the kind of person he is. He's a madman.
Jeremy, he's tad unpredictable.
Do you like my pants? My pants. I can take them off for you.
My parents listened to Zeppelin and the Beatles when I was growing up. I guess at Christmas when I was like 13, I guess, they bought me the Led Zeppelin box set. And that's kind of when it started.
I had Def Leppard tapes and Twisted Sister tapes.
First tape I ever owned was Twisted Sister.
I came home from school in grade 4, and my dad was sitting there reading the paper, and he asked me, hey, do you want to go take drum lessons?
I dropped out of band in grade 12 because I had to miss a school band concert for one of my real band concerts because I had just joined a band. I had to play a real gig, right? So I was, told the teacher, I was like, look, I gotta miss the concert. This is what I want to do. And he's like, it's a waste of time, blah, blah, blah. And they failed me for that term because I missed that one concert.
I worked crappy jobs for a while. I had no idea what I wanted to do in life. Like this was something I never even thought I would be even, remotely close to pursuing.
And I never really took it very seriously though, up until high school. And then my dad took me to my first concert, which was Aerosmith. And when I saw Aerosmith, I was just like, that's what I want to do.
Well, I started at 18, so a little late after going to see a Nirvana concert. First concert I ever seen at 17. And I just never looked back, learned every Nirvana song, and then learned every Zeppelin song.
After high school, I got a full-time job at a hot tub factory.
I got a job working at Ford, and that's where I met Jeremy, and we drove a parts van together.
I decided to go to school for something, and I picked a trade, and I went for sheet metal working, and I did that for a few years, and that's kind of when I hooked up with these guys and joined the band, and all this started happening. So.
We signed him to a multi-record deal.
There's a level of expectation. You're signed to this big record company.
It's an investment. I mean, we're hoping to build a career and hopefully make them icons.
You're not an indie band from Vancouver anymore, so there's the pressure's on.
Whoa, girl.
We're going to try to get these guys to be a household name within the year. All good bands get better as they play more.
6 months into the release of the album, and it's doing great.
From that first show to the 32nd show, you're going to see a much more confident band, a more seasoned band.
We're on our way to gold.
Once the song really caught on, it caught on fast, and it's almost like a brush fire. Once it starts, it just catches and eventually begins to take on a life of its own.
I let one or two things slide, given their age and given this is all new to them, but for the most part, we keep them on a very strict schedule.
Sleep in one city, wake up in another.
Touring.
Make sure things run somewhat smoothly, look after the boys.
Playing show after show after show.
Getting the boys ready, getting their asses out of bed.
6-7 days a week.
Touring.
Touring and more.
Touring, yeah.
Yeah. We're going on tour. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's been great. I had so much fun. I didn't realize it would be this much fun. Waking up in different towns and getting to spend the time with my friends in the band.
Being out on the road all the time and doing this for a living is very surreal, and I wake up every morning in the tour bus and give my head a big shake and go, am I really actually doing this?
We get to experience life. Unlike any other human being gets to experience life this way. I'm gonna show you how musicians stay so thin. First try, we got a little steam water here. Secondly, we got even more steam water. It's a little different temperature, I think. We're all out of bread.
Going to all these cities and, people actually know your song. You get to be the coolest guy at the party for a half hour.
We started off doing like 500 and 1,000 seaters. Now, we're playing 8,000, 9,000 people some nights.
Tonight in New York City, at the Hammerstein Ballroom was just the most amazing show I've actually ever felt in my whole entire life. And it makes me realize why I do this, why we all do this, and why I don't want to stop doing this.
Being our first show in New York, it was amazing. I didn't know what to expect. The crowd was fantastic.
The guys came out and played the show of their lives and just kicked some serious ass.
It starts with Jeremy coming up just with a guitar riff.
You just never know where it comes from sometimes.
My favorite thing is listening to a guitar riff and writing the melody line.
My biggest role is probably in the structure of the song.
I guess Wasting My Time was a song that one time I went to the bar and I was with my girlfriend and we got in a fight at the bar and came back and Jeremy had finished laying down all the tracks for the demo for Wasting My Time. You know, we're such good friends that he knows, you know, exactly what I'm feeling, right? And you know, I went in there, went in a little booth, and as soon as I came to the chorus where I was having a hard time, it just came out, those lyrics just kind of exploded out of me. And you can hear that in the intensity, I think, in that chorus. You can hear that anger that's there. It's one of those moments where you look back and you don't realize how important that was to our career, but it was a huge point.
Our biggest problem in the early stages was picking the right single. We had at least 3 great songs, and we didn't know which song to go with. And we went with Wasting My Time because we believed that was the song that most people would love.
We have some input on that. The songs that we really think that should be the first single, we just kind of trust that hopefully the people that we are working with are looking for our best interest.
You can tell how good the stuff is by just how long it stays in your head.
Once the song caught on, that was it. You almost want to just get out of the way and let it happen.
I think we're at the point right now where a lot of people have heard the song, but they don't know who it is. And that's really what we get a lot of times is, oh, I know that song, but I didn't know who it was.
You just need the song that is going to stick in people's heads so fiercely that they just have to run to the record store and buy your album. And that's one thing that this band's got. They've got melody up the wazoo.
We don't fake anything. People aren't dumb. They can see right through it. There's a lot of emotion in it. Everything from the drum hits down to lyrics, down to everything.
You know, we're just straight ahead rock and roll. It's a guitar player, a drummer, a bass player, and a singer. No gimmick rock and roll. What you see is what you get.
I just want to be honest. I don't want to have too many, don't use too many effects or something like that. You know, it's more raw.
A lot of bands can jump around on stage or light themselves on fire, or they can have, you know, all the tattoos and accessories that go along with it. But if you don't have that song that sticks in your head, you know, there's only so long you are going to be around.
Don't really want to have our options that limited and have somebody to tell us, you know, how to write. And they can kind of guide us towards, you know, how they think we should do a video or, you know, stuff like that, or photo shoots and stuff, but when it comes to actually writing the music, that has to be entirely us.
This band is a bunch of working class guys from Vancouver, Canada, who are out there making great rock songs. Jeremy gets crazier and wilder every day. The more he's on the road, the more chance he has to enjoy being a star. The more he's able to be a performer, the more he performs.
I've been dropped about 50 feet into this big, like, huge, like, vat of pillows or something like that. It's like, whoo! And so I'm just free to do whatever I want to do.
Danny, he's pretty much the same as he always has been. He's the rock, and he just, as a rock, you don't change that much, and they need that in the band.
I worry more about, like, getting to practice on time, like having the guys get there. I'm like, they're coming to practice now too.
Dave is loosening up more and more. When you see him on stage, he's running around with his bass, attacking the crowd. He's, you know, got his crazy braids in his hair, and he's really also becoming more in tune with the business.
I'm still very naive. You tell me anything and I'll believe you.
Dallas was really young when he joined the band. He wasn't really experienced as a performer.
I would like to kiss a girl. I'm just a little too shy to kiss a girl. Especially in front of 40 people and a camera.
Every day you see him become more comfortable on stage, more comfortable in front of a microphone, more comfortable in himself. When success comes, it's going to be difficult for them to keep focused, difficult to compete with a lot of bands that are more mature. It's going to be difficult for them to remain balanced.
It's over, it's over, it's over.
A year into your album's release, when you've had the success that The Fault has had, your life changes a lot.
You know, my life last year has just done a complete 180 in every way.
It's really cool to just watch everything, you know, blow up and get bigger and bigger. And
just started getting a little more, obviously a little more recognition now, being able to headline shows.
Last year has been one of the biggest blurs I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
It's a little scary and a little intimidating sometimes too, because, you know, before, you know, you wanted everybody to see you, and now it's like, oh man, everybody's watching me.
My personality has changed, like as far as, I'm still the same person, I'm just more open and more confident.
We're selling out shows. You know, that's us. That many people are coming to see us in all these different cities, and it's totally freaking us out. It's very cool, and you know, we're having more moments now where we're just like, damn, this is pretty awesome.
Being in a band is hard work. Everyone expects the most out of you every single day. You cannot have a bad day. You know, everybody does have their off days. If you're sick, too bad. If you're cranky, too bad.
You just want to sit around by yourself and not talk to anybody.
If your girlfriend broke up with you, too bad. Doesn't matter.
Typical day in the life of default is get up,
find a place to shower and shave,
try to recover from our hangover,
grab something to eat,
do some interviews.
We got some radio stuff to do.
Do a sound check if we get one.
Check. 1, 2. 1, 2, 2.
Then play the show.
get up, do the exact same thing the next day.
Dallas being the what?
You know, a lot of people would think that Dallas is the money of the band.
No, I haven't heard that. What does that mean?
It's an easy thing to look at Dallas and say, there's a rock star right there. Look at him.
Dallas is the bread and butter.
People saying Dallas is the money because obviously he sings the songs. He's such a great singer, and he's not a bad-looking guy on top of it.
I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that.
With him getting all the attention, it might rub some guys in the band the wrong way.
There's a guy designed for each band, and I couldn't be the one that Dallas is for this band.
We know you're by far not the best looking, so.
Yeah. It's just, hopefully that's not why we got here, is because, you know, my voice, that's fine. I mean, if that's why we got here, then that's cool. I mean, obviously the songs have to be there and blah, blah, blah. It's a whole package thing, right? But I hope that, you know, which I don't think it is. I know it's not based on my looks.
This band's really easy because they're like brothers. You know, they're really, really close-knit. They're like a family. They're together all the time.
I don't know.
You're also very used to the...
Well, no, I know. I realize that. I'm taking all this into consideration.
Okay.
So you don't have to explain it to me why I might be thinking wrong.
Unfortunately, the henpecking can snowball and really get out of control, and all of a sudden it turns into like a big fight over, you know, who had the last of the mustard.
Don't you think that was rather irresponsible of you?
Of course not.
No, you don't think so?
Nope. Not at all. Always being irresponsible.
You like being irresponsible?
No, I just happen to be that way.
Sorry, I thought you said that. I thought you said you like being irresponsible. Just now. I know, I honestly misheard you.
Fame, scary. I think everybody really wants fame, but then when you get it, it's kind of like, people know my name now that I've never ever met.
Fame? It's a joke.
People are looking at you underneath a microscope, and it's like, you gotta watch what you do. It's
funny, it's cool, like we have a good time.
I guess if you consider us famous in some way, I don't feel it.
Sometimes it does happen where people just totally lose it when they meet us, and it's just like, you know, it's okay. We're just normal like you.
I think right now they love it. It's not like you can just be an ass and then, you know, nobody cares. You're an ass and then everybody knows.
Overrated. I think a lot of people take it the wrong way. It's a very weird word.
It's very different on the inside looking out than the outside looking in, I guess what I'm trying to say.
Default's fans have been amazing. They're what makes our world go round. I love them.
That's why we're here.
You see, especially young girls, lined up hours and hours before the show.
They're great, unless they turn a little psycho.
The greatest satisfaction in the world is to see people in front of you singing your songs that you wrote in your basement.
I go back to being the miserable little bastard I always was. I'm never happy, things always piss me off, and I just probably end up drinking my life away that way.
I'd be very unhappy. It'd be really tough to go back to work now.
Failure would suck, but it's something that everyone's got to face up to sometime. We could experience that tomorrow or maybe 10 years from now. Hopefully, you know, longer the better.
You work so many years to get there, and for it just to be 1 year, like 1 year out of your life, it'd be a little depressing, you know? Like, I don't think I'd take it too well.
There would be a part of me that would feel empty.
These guys, in a short amount of time, came a long way.
There's nothing like, in 9 months, going from a band who was just playing in small clubs and no one ever heard of you to playing in front of 20,000 people.
Somehow we all know inside that we're gonna be something. We're not gonna be nothing.
Never would have thought in a million years this would ever happen.
I love it. You know, this is the best job in the world.
I know for a fact it doesn't happen this well to a lot of bands. Yeah, I'm totally blown away.